What is one piece of information that people must know before they make a buying decision? Got to know how much, haven't they? And we operate in a world where there are people offering demonstrably different pricing towards very similar things. Let me pick on another volunteer. Is she okay? Just want to Can I borrow your pen, sir? Your name is? Eric. This is Eric's pen. Now, if Eric's pen is chucked on a table at a yard sale, how much is the pen? 5 cents, 25 cents, not a lot of money, right? Now I'm going to take Eric's exact same pen, and I'm going to put it in an acrylic stand upright. There's going to be 12 identical pens alongside it. It's the same pen of Eric's. In the adjacent compartments of the same stand are other pens by the same manufacturer in different color palettes. And the manufacturer's name sits across the top of the acrylic stand, and the acrylic stand sits on the counter of the stationery department in a mid-price department store like a Macy's. How much is the pen? It's the same pen. The exact same pen. Now I'm going to take Eric's pen, I'm going to do something different again. I'm going to lay it down on its side. And I'm going to put this pen in a box. And the box is made of mahogany. So I have Eric's pen in a mahogany box. Mahogany box is velvet lined. So I have a pen in a mahogany box that's velvet lined, sits in a cabinet. Cabinet's made of glass. Glass cabinet, spotlit. So I have a pen in a mahogany box that's velvet lined, sits in a cabinet. Cabinet's made of glass. Glass cabinet is spotlit. This too is in a department store. Not just any department store. The department store is in London. Not just anywhere in London, it's in Knightsbridge. The store in question is called Harrods. So I have a pen in a mahogany box that's velvet lined, sits in a cabinet. Cabinet's made of glass. Glass cabinet is spotlit. Sits in a department store, not just any department store. Department store is in London. Not just in London, it's in Knightsbridge. The store is called Harrods. And to get to the pen, I need to speak to a member of staff. Member of staff is wearing a black tuxedo, has white gloves on. His name is Pierre. How much is the pen? It's the same pen. I do not know a better way of explaining to you that in every single market, there are people selling what seems to be the exact same thing for demonstrably different pricing. What is the difference in this context? Packaging, presentation, in fact, it's everything that sits around the thing. The clearer you get on all of the stuff that sits around your thing, the easier it becomes for you to articulate to others the difference as opposed to the similarities between what you do and others, the easier it becomes for other people to find that value. So people are going to want to buy this from you for a lot of money later. Keep it safe. What am I really trying to say? What I'm really trying to say is if I have the word price written in my right hand and I have the word value written in my left hand and price comes out ahead of value, which one looks bigger? Price looks bigger, right? But if I get the value out there up top, which one looks bigger right now? Value looks bigger. So you have to want the thing before you know how to get the thing. Show of hands in the room who's ever spent more money on something than they said they would. Only everybody, right? We all do that. So the ability to know that people don't have budgets is an important thing to consider. What people have is desirable outcomes, and then they'll be prepared to pay for that desirable outcome, providing they desire it enough. Let's talk about the outcomes that are created through our work as opposed to the price of our service, and guess what happens? Life gets easier. What we must also understand is that people's buying habits are not the same. A mistake that many people make is they take their buying habits and they apply them to everybody else they make. Whereas there are about 27 different types of buyer. You are one of them. The way you make decisions isn't the same as the way that other people make decisions. This was put perhaps best to me by a huge mentor in my life. My first mentor was my grandmother. And my grandmother once said to me, she said, Phil, surely if everybody thought in the exact same way, wouldn't the whole world like to marry your granddad? People think differently, they act differently, they need information given in different ways. But what I'm urging you guys to definitely be is proud of the price that you charge, and make sure that what you do is you stand in front of your price with all of the value that you bring out up front before you reveal your price with such killer confidence that you believe that it's worth it. Because I'm also certain of this, is that if you are not convinced, you cannot convince. If you do not believe with absolute certainty the sum of money you're asking somebody to pay for the service that you provide is worth it, and some, please don't ever expect somebody else to believe it. You've got to get this right on you first of all.